Hi Scorpio, welcome to your new moon solar eclipse reading in Aries for April 20th, 2023. New moons bring in new cycles. This one can last from 2 weeks to 6 months. And I say that because it's a solar eclipse, so it's got some legs. Um, but your theme for the next 2 to 4 weeks, I'm going to say, because I'll be back in 2 weeks with a new theme, is strength. But you can extend that to 6 months. And I think it's a great card. It is courage, it's inner strength, it's your power, and it's also protection. But it really does mean that there is a courageous spirit that you can tame the beast within, which is your ego, and heal. It's a very healing energy. Also, it's 8, so that's infinite energy, right? So mind what you start or mind what you're doing because you're going to add a lot of energy to it. All right, let's see what's coming in for you. Well, this queen has all over the place. This is the Queen of Wands, and she's been in a lot of readings, so she gets around. This is a very good energy, though. I do like this energy very much. The Queen of Wands is associated with Leo, but this is, especially if you're a female, you have really, really excellent manifestation energy. They're very creative, but they have that solar energy that can send out impulse. And then she is a female, so she has the lunar magnetic energy to draw what she wants to her. So it's a really nice energy. I find these people to be funny and comforting and healing and creative, and it's just, I think, an all around really good energy. There's magic with this person. They can get angry, fire where there's stagnancy can create anger or can get angry, but they're usually pretty well balanced people. And again, especially if you're the female Queen of Wands, if you're a Leo, rather, if you're a male Leo, you can have too much of that egoic energy. But again, that depends. It depends on um, your own personal internal thing. You could have a soft Leo as well. All right. Because they're caregivers, they're healers, right? They want to heal, they want to help people. And it's a group situation that we're looking at here, Scorpio. So this can be a female in your friendship group or maybe a work group, but group situations. And you may be asked to be in a group situation or to go with other people within a situation. You may be talking to a Queen of Wands within a group that I think you like very much. These are people who really kind of admire, first of all, the leader. And I'm going to say the Queen of Wands is probably that in this case, right? She's probably the leader of this pack, and a lot of people can sing her praises. So maybe you hear very good things about a boss that you would like to work for, or that you already do work for if they are a Queen of Wands type of person. But there's absolutely victory in group situations with this individual, and so I think you would maybe like to be part of this group. But let's see. Well, you might be, but you could have some insecurities about it, or you may not hear from somebody for a while. This is about not seeing things clearly, but you have a feeling about it with the moon, right? That's your intuition that really kind of kicks up. So this could be an important moon for you. I would say, though, that your psychic energies are probably pretty good. But you could also, I mean, this is where the strength card comes in, right? Because you may need some courage. Now, because this is a very successful group already, maybe you're a little bit worried that you don't fit the bill, or you won't get the spot within the group situation, or there's just some things that you're not seeing clearly just yet. Okay, it might not even have anything to do with this group. It could just be situations that you are sort of unclear about right now. But you could have really good intuitive sparks and feelings. Well, let's just see what goes along with that. Okay, you have the Five of Cups. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is that it is to your detriment to be a little regretful. And I'm going to say then this can be insecurities, and that may come from the idea that maybe things that you had tried out in the future didn't work out as you had hoped they had, and you could be fearful that that would happen again. This is an emotional imbalance, but the problem here is that you're thinking too negatively, or you're only looking at what isn't good. This is a kind of regretful energy. So you could be regretting something. We'll get more information on that. But the two cards have for me some emotional instability together. Okay. The result is the Three of Wands. There could be separation from this group or this person within the group, or if the feeling of being separate or feeling separate. And this could also be inclement weather. So she's quite a sunny disposition, right? And the Three of Swords is not. But it is healing from a broken heart, or healing from feelings of separation. Yeah, it feels like to me like you feel like maybe you don't belong or something. Or if you were looking for a position, maybe you feel like you won't get it. But you still have to be courageous with the Strength card. Well, with the High Priestess and the Moon, your intuitive and psychic energy is pretty sharp. But I think what we're looking at here is the High Priestess is the structure of things. It's your divinity, and that is the structure that you build your physical on. It's things going on behind the scenes, right? A little bit secretive energy. And again, with the Moon and the High Priestess, there's high probability that you can be, and you're psychic and intuitive anyway, but those could be heightened. And with the Queen of Wands, because I think she has that ability as well. She's magic. So yeah, there can be a lot of things going on behind the scenes. But you are touching on your divinity here. And I think what I'm seeing is that maybe it is a belief in yourself that you need to raise up, right? Because the Moon can be insecurities. That Five of Cups is things in the past that didn't work out, and we kind of carry that with us. And it's like a regretful energy. It can also be mourning. And so with that Three of Swords, there may be someone or something that has left your life that leaves you feeling like you are missing something, or there's a mourning feeling. It's a time to kind of, in this case, maybe it is important for you to look at what has spilled, as long as you don't do it too long. And that's the trap that we can get into where this is concerned. But there's healing here with the Strength card and courage. And so you can have the courage to look at defects or problems and correct them. But you kind of almost are, it almost feels like you're not at the correction phase yet. It feels more like you're at the phase of the implications of what has gone forward within this group situation or with this particular person. Let's get some clarity here. Okay, yeah. It can be for some people that, because this can be the marriage card sometimes, and this would be separation or divorce. So perhaps for some, there can be that situation going on, and then we're kind of left with the idea that our thoughts can run away with us with the Nine of Swords. But for me, it's more of a feeling of planetary activity, meaning that you're under a blanket of stars. And I say that because, as you can see, there's the planets on the blanket that covers this situation. And it can be that you allow a thought to get away from you. It just takes on a life of its own, has its own story. Whether it's real or it isn't the point. The fact is that maybe at some point there was some real reality based, but it gets away with itself and it creates its own little story. So it's very possible that you can be dealing with that. And maybe you had high ideals. Maybe you had this thought that I'm going to join this group and it's going to be great and I'm going to be the leader eventually, or that kind of energy, and it didn't, and it fell through. And that's why we have the Five of Cups here, right? You have the Five of Cups as this sort of regretful energy of mourning, of it didn't work out the way I wanted it to. Or maybe it could just be a person within that group or a particular activity in that group that just, it didn't jive with you. It didn't work out the way you wanted it to. Because they start off quite well with and also the Strength card is also associated with Leo as well as her. Yeah, see, there's this Page of Wands there. So there's this fire sign. But this is you. This can be the person that you're regretting, but it can also be you and how you're behaving. And the Page of Wands is my Sagittarius card, and they are expanding their mind. They're looking for new adventure, and perhaps this is an old adventure that didn't work out the way you wanted it to, and now you're thinking, okay, let me move on. Let me move on and find something new to do, something that I love, something that works out. And like I said, this could even be a position that you were looking into, and it was the right company, the right people, the right everything, but perhaps because of timing, it didn't work out. You may be trying it again, or you may be looking for a new vision. You might be looking to expand your skills somewhere else. But this is also the Page of Wands for me, is the student card. So what you have gone through is definitely a big learning phase, because he is the student, but he's a student of philosophy where life is concerned, right? And so your philosophical thinking can be changing. 5 is the number of change, so there is this feeling of something new. And it can also be that this new situation can help to eliminate this energy, because this is a very victorious energy. For me, this is positive, and I think you're moving in this direction. I think this card is just indicating that again, maybe in the past it didn't work out because of timing, or this is something that will help to alleviate the mental stress that you may be going through. Because with the Page of Wands, for me, that's a very optimistic card, and it is the expansion of your philosophies and new adventures and new ideas. And I think you're kind of tired with the old stuff, right? It's time to pivot and look at what is still standing and good, and fill those cups with what it is you want. And it may be a new way of thinking, a new way of approaching adventure, and new philosophies, new ideologies, new ways of thinking. That High Priestess really kind of comes at me quite a bit, so I kind of feel like we're moving in that direction, moving in the direction of your divinity. With the Lover's card, you have choice. Do I choose something that is a base passion, or do I choose something that's a little loftier? Is the choice that the Lovers presents. It's a fork in the road. And it's interesting because you can continue to choose to examine or continue to create the Three of Swords energy, which is feeling separate, feeling apart from everything, or continuing on with creating mental disturbances, right, and emotional. Or you can find your divinity with the High Priestess. That's kind of seems to me like what the choice is here, and that's of course up to you. What I see here is that you're going to choose for something new, because this is a new adventure that's coming your direction. The Lovers can also be a choice in romance, especially where the Three of Swords is concerned, because that is often a separation from someone you love. Again, that doesn't have to be romantic, but it can be, and the Lovers can also be romantic. So, okay, interesting. What does Spirit want you to know? This deck that I'm using for this has extra cards in it, and you got the Soul, and I think that goes quite well with the High Priestess card. In fact, I think it's kind of one and the same, your divinity. And this is a higher being, a higher belief. On a negative side, it can be apathy or doubt or mistrust. And I think all of that is in this is in this reading. And I think it kind of wraps things up very, very clearly. I'm going to give this the 2 weeks because I don't want it to go any further than that. So I'll give you 2 weeks, maybe 4. But I think we're going to move beyond that within the 6-month period, especially with the Strength card, because that's courageous energy. Okay, I hope this has been helpful. I'll return in 2 weeks with a full moon reading, and I do dailies. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it, and I hope it's been helpful. Take care.